They didn't want to be there. None of them did. A family torn apart by lies, gathered together for the funeral of a woman they all pretended to love. It was meant to be just one night in that crumbling mansion, but by morning, only one of them would survive. The house stood alone at the edge of a forgotten village, wrapped in fog and shadow. Inside, the walls were lined with portraits, faces from generations past, washing over every room, their eyes following you wherever you went. They all arrived just before sunset, distant relatives, siblings, cousins, uncles, aunts, all gathered for the funeral of the family matriarch. They had no love for her, only duty. Duty to attend, to stay one night in the house. Just one night. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, something stirred into the house, and none of them could see it coming. That night, the strange occurrences began, a low hum like whispers drifting through the halls, lights flickering, portraits seemed to change. If you looked at them from the corner of your eye at first, they dismissed it. Old houses always have their quirks. But Sarah, the youngest of them all, felt it immediately. There was something else there, hiding in the shadows. Something watching. It whispered to them in the dead of night, telling them things they should not know. The others? They wouldn't listen. They thought Sarah was losing her mind. But that wasn't madness. It was the curse. Later that night, the oldest sibling, Linda, found the old journal. It was hidden beneath a loose floorboard in the attic. As she opened it, the pages were brittle, the writing frantic. The words spoke of a pact made long ago, one that saved the family from ruin in exchange for a terrible prize, a blood sacrifice. One from each generation had to die, or the curse would claim the entire bloodline. The family had been living on borrowed time, and then the deaths began. One by one, the family members fell. The first was Frank, who was found in the hallway, his face frozen in terror, a look no one could explain. It wasn't until the second body was discovered that the panic set in. The doors and windows were sealed shut. No one could leave. They were trapped. And the curse? It wasn't finished with them just yet. As the night wore on, the killings became more brutal. Each death was a reflection of their darkest secrets. One was found suffocated in the room, as if the lies they'd told their entire life had finally crushed them. Another drowned in a family pond. Their affair, long hidden, now dragged to the surface. No one could trust each other, not anymore. They were all hiding something, and the curse fed on their guilt, their fear. But it was the youngest sibling who knew the truth. They had seen the figure in the shadows. It whispered to them, showed them the way. The others wouldn't believe them. Not until it was too late. There was only one way to break the curse. One of them had to willingly sacrifice themselves before sunrise. The problem? None of them wanted to die. Not for each other, not for a family they barely even knew. By the time the last few survivors realized what they had to do, the clock was nearing midnight. The dark figure grew stronger, its presence suffocating. The youngest sibling stood in the center of the room, heart pounding as the family tore themselves apart, desperate to survive. But in the end, it wasn't the youngest sibling the curse wanted. The pact had always required the sacrifice of a true family member, one bound not just by blood, but by love. As the entity loomed closer, the truth finally came out. A betrayal none of them saw coming. One final, desperate act, and the family's curse was sealed forever. Some families have secrets, but not all of them survive long enough to regret them. If you like these type of stories, then you're in luck. There is a lot more on my channel, so go check it out and consider subscribing. I make videos every single week, and I would love to have you. Thank you so much for watching, love you all, and I will see you the next time. Goodbye.